Welcome back to the pod life of Angel and Tina. It's your girl Angel flying solo again. This week, Tina is living her best life traveling, but don't worry, she'll be back soon. Right now, I'm soaking up good vibes in Colorado with two of my absolute favorites, Brett and Chad. We are diving into a topic that is close to our hearts, Pride Month. We are talking love, allyship, and why this month matters. Plus, some hilarious stories that you won't want to miss. But first, let's do a quick recap. You guys, welcome to the studio. How was your week?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Great so far.
What have you guys been doing?
Well, the first part of the week we worked, of course, like normal human beings. And then this weekend, starting on Thursday, we flew into Colorado for a work conference for me and Angel, and Brett decided to join us. He's really been more of the relaxing one this weekend, but me and Angel been working in a little conference and trying to stay awake. So,
Brett, what have you been doing all day while we were in conference?
Watching TV and taking naps.
He has been on a mini vacay while we were working, struggling, trying not to fall asleep. You guys, the conference was really good, but the first day we got here in town super late. We didn't have but a couple of hours to sleep and make it to the conference that morning. So we were tired. So it wasn't that the conference was bad or boring. We were just tired and hungry. So we had a good week.
we did.
So this month, it is Pride Month. And this week, we're talking about Pride. So I want to give a quick segment of like how Pride started. So the month of June in the U.S. was chosen for LGBTQ plus Pride Month to honor Stonewall riots, which occurred at the end of June 1969. The Stonewall riots, or Stonewall Uprising, began June 28, 1969, after a police raid on the Stonewall Inn, a gay bar in New York City, Greenwich Village. Unlike previous riots, patrons, many of them drag queens, transgender individuals, homeless youth, and people of color, fought back, sparking 6 days of violent clashes with police. The uprising was fueled by years of systematic harassment, discriminatory laws, and social oppression against LGBTQ plus people. Stonewall shifted activism from assimilation to public defiance, symbolizing resistance against oppression. While often framed as the movement's start, it built on early struggles and highlighted intersectional marginalization. Today's topic, we're talking all about pride, and you two are married, so we want to talk about love and marriage. What is the biggest misconception people have about gay marriage?
That's a good question. I feel like one of the misconceptions is, and this may also go later as we continue, this may be, similar to something I may say later, but I feel like we're always try to be differentiated by straight couples. A lot of times we're asked, who's the male and who's the female or whatever, who's more feminine, who's more masculine. And honest and truly, neither one of us are feminine. We're both more on the masculine side. And we still do everything that a straight man would do, such as yard work, I have 2 daughters that I'm raising, and Brett is helping me with that because I was married previously to a woman, and I have 2 children. And so he's helping me with that. So it's not really it's more of a you love each other instead of a who's who does what. And I feel like a lot of times when you ask about a misconception, people think, well, one's got to be feminine, one's got to be masculine. Mm-hmm. And that's not the way it is.
Any insight, Brett? He covered it.
He got it all.
He got it all. So how did you two meet? And what was your this is love moment?
So, we met off of a dating app, a little-known app called Grindr. Some of y'all may know. But Chad had messaged me, wanted to hang out. For a couple times I turned him down, and then I gave in. We hung out, and then it just, I guess, blossomed from there.
Yes, and I tried very hard. I mean, this man, I asked him out on a date. I asked him to come and, hang out with me, but he had his eyes on somebody else at the time and was continuously turning me down. Didn't know how good he was going to have it until he finally said yes.
Mm-hmm. How long have you guys been married at this point?
Been married. It's been almost 2 years. I guess 1.5. Yeah. And then we've been together for
almost 5.
Almost 5 years, I would say.
Because we started dating the end of 2019. No, it wasn't 2019. It was 2020. Yeah. So we started, it was more of a friendship.
Yeah.
It was more of a friendship until my divorce was finalized with my ex-wife. But yes, that's when we initially had met. We were friends. And then after all of the, everything was my past was finally complete, we then decided that we wanted to date each other.
Well, that is amazing. And I just want to say randomly, I knew both of you guys before you knew each other.
I know, and to bounce off of that, I was in management for Walmart for about 5 years, and I was actually Brett's brother's boss and didn't know it at the time.
Right.
I was still married to my ex-wife, and I didn't know that I was his brother's boss. And then come to find out after we started talking and being friends, hanging out, he introduced me to some of his family, and I'm like, oh, well, I know him. I used to be his boss.
Yeah.
And it was just it was funny, but I guess it was kind of awkward at the same time, if that makes sense.
It's a small world.
Yes.
So.
It is. So what is one thing about married life that surprised you, if anything surprised you?
Married life, I would say, I guess, my money becomes our money. That was a big one. And then having to live with each other and do everything together and not just fully focus on yourself. Be the good times and the bad times. But that was one thing.
Yeah, and when it comes to finances, again, bouncing back to I have children.
Yeah.
So I do work. I work a full-time job. But that a lot of my money goes for my children, and a lot of his money is our bills. Yes, it's our money now, but it's still used in different ways. And it was kind of hard for us both to adjust to that. Because I was just used to, hey, I'm just going to go to the grocery store and pick this up. Or, hey, we need to go get clothes for the kids. And now I'm actually having to send an X amount of money for them every month to make sure they have what they need, because I'm not technically there for them all the time anymore to be able to just go out and buy that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll agree with him when it comes. I think finances has been the big topic.
Yeah. And that's the thing with any couple, whether you're gay, straight, lesbian, we all have the same typical hardships, and we get through them the same way any other couple does. So, how has Pride Month evolved for you over the years?
I'll start this one. So, I was never really one to celebrate Pride Month in my past. I actually started celebrating it when I decided to come out to my family and friends after my divorce was finalized back in 2021. So I wanted to be able to celebrate and partake in that, knowing that I had rights like anyone else, even though my life was a little different at the beginning. I do consider myself, I would say, bisexual with a preference for men. So being able to celebrate that and being able to be a part of that now is really fun for me. I really enjoy it. I've helped plan events for work and things like that. So I have really thoroughly enjoyed it. Brett, on the other hand, I'm not sure how he feels about it. I know that he's kind of like, it's really doesn't matter to me. We can celebrate, we can't. Yeah. I'll let him speak on that.
I don't know. I never really celebrated Pride Month per se. I'm not the outgoing type person. I'm more, I don't know, keep everything private. So that's just me. I want to, I don't know, wave my flag and for all to see. But
yeah.
I mean, if you ask me, I'll tell you. But if you don't ask me, I'm not just gonna force it on you. Basically.
To each their own. Some people like to celebrate it loudly, and some people like to celebrate it with them among themselves. So everyone celebrates everything differently. So, and that's how you two differ.
That's true.
What's a challenge you faced as a couple that straight friends may not expect? Or is it just the same challenges everyone else faces, basically?
That's what I would say.
Yeah. But I know, like, sometimes you had mentioned earlier today about, PDA and things like that, and how you feel about doing that in public in fear of maybe someone might not like it and may retaliate against versus a straight couple doing it. You want to elaborate that? You were speaking so eloquently earlier today about it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of PDA just because you never know who you're going to come across. Some people might not like it at all, and I don't want them to, I guess, do anything to me, be like a hate crime or something like that. So I try not to do PDA, which I hate that you have to. I guess I have to live like that, but also I'm trying to keep my safety, stay alive. So
of course, yeah.
Yeah, and to bounce off of that, I completely understand where he's coming from. I, on the other hand, wouldn't mind holding hands every once in a while and having a hug, maybe a peck on the cheek periodically when we're out.
I do it every once in a while.
He does. I'll give him that. So it's very rare, though, but he has done it.
You got your wish. Thank you.
But I understand where he's at. And a lot of that, I know that this podcast that is not very political. But I know a lot of that has to do with politics and how people feel about things and, how one person feels like we should be able to do just like a heterosexual couple can do. And there's other people that like we're disgusting and they could be plotting something in their mind and just be out and about actually seeking out people like me and him to do things to because they may not want us to be around, if that makes sense.
And it also
That's how I look at that.
It also depends on where you are, I guess, like physically. Like in our home city, I wouldn't do it, but just this past May, we were in Dollywood, and I felt more comfortable, more free, because more people are more accepting.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I feel like up in,
key.
Like DC, they would be fine with it.
Yeah.
I know California. Just it all depends on where you are and who you're with.
Yes.
So to wrap it up, I wouldn't say we hide it, but we don't flaunt it. We're not flamboyant about it.
Yeah.
And again, coming back to where he says, living in Lynchburg, Virginia, number one Christian university in the world.
Yes.
You're going to be around a lot of conservative
people.
And modest people that don't particularly agree or care for our lifestyle. Mm-hmm. But that's not for them to choose.
So how do you balance being out and proud with privacy? Because I know, like, you, Brett, like to stay private and like to, you celebrate it in your own way, but you don't flaunt it. And Chad's like, woo, I'm out here, I'm loving it. Kiss me on the cheek or something every now and then. So, like, how do you balance that? Being out and proud, but also privacy.
I think you just answered it.
Good, I did. I did that for y'all.
Because I am the one that's going to be like, yay, I am the outgoing one of our relationship. I am more social. When it comes to parties and gatherings and things like that, I'm the planner of those. He helps. He'll cook.
Of course.
But
cooks the best food. My mom.
We discuss it.
Salad.
We always discuss it, and there's been times where he's brought up different things that we could do.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Going with the plan thing, I think I plan it more than you, but you're the host. No, you're the host because you do all the talking and you greet everyone.
Yeah, because he won't.
You do all that.
I guess that's.
I do the behind the scenes, so I do the planning. I do all the cooking because you don't want him to cook. Trust me. But yes,
I can put a DiGiorno in the oven.
Ain't nobody
love his DiGiorno. Yo, he be making the best DiGiorno.
He cooks it raw. It ain't even cooked on the top.
And just saying, we're not here supporting or endorsing DiGiorno. It's just good pizza.
Yes, we don't get paid, but DiGiorno, if you want to pay us, we're here for it.
We'll tear up some cheese.
We tear up some cheese DiGiorno. So let's turn this into a little more fun. What is your most hilarious married couple argument?
So when me and him first moved in together, it was right prime COVID, and we had both been sick. He ended up having COVID first, and then I ended up getting it. And I was still not feeling too hot one day, and he was like, I want to get out. I've got cabin fever. I've been in too long. I want to go do something. And here I am, still not feeling that great. And he's like, oh, I'm going to go to the pool. I'm like, no, you don't need to go to the pool yet. Neither one of us have been to the pool together, and we just moved in. That's something we should do together. This is what I'm saying now.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I don't want to stay up here. I've been up here X amount of time. I've been sick. I'm feeling better now. I want to go down there and swim. And I'm like, no, you can wait until I feel better because I'm still not feeling good and I might need you or something. So now we laugh about it, but I think it was hilarious and it was kind of like petty.
Yeah, it was a little petty. You could have let him go.
Yeah, and that's Chad's middle name.
Paddington.
Why?
Oh.
Yes. Yorkshire, y'all.
Yorkshire. Inside joke, y'all. All right. So, do you have a gay stereotype that you totally own, or one that you hate, or both? You might have one you own and you hate.
One of them, I think we answered earlier, but it's when people is in a relationship, who's the man, who's the woman? Yeah. Like, we're both men. Like, that's not. I think that's one stereotype that I know.
You own any? You like, yes, that's me. I'm that stereotype.
And then not really own any, but I will say another one that I hate is the way people expect you to walk. Mannerisms.
Oh, yeah, mannerisms.
Lisps. People say, you know, gay guys talk more with a lisp or more feminine, and that's not always the case. Or, they walk more feminine, or he wears bright colors, or it's just, you know, it's not like that. Like, me and him are both more masculine. Mm-hmm. We both dress like men. We do things like men do. We haven't had to, like, mow grass and stuff or work outside because we live in an apartment. So they take care of all that. But once we do get our own place and we get settled down or whatever, you know, there's going to be times we're going to have to get out and do that stuff. Yeah. And neither one of us is going to be like, ew, I'm not doing that. You know, and we work together for everything we do. We work together cleaning. He doesn't do it a lot, but he also cooks more than I do.
And I bring home the money.
And he brings home the profit.
I'm the sugar daddy, is what people say.
So yeah, just a couple. I don't think we really have any that we own. Yeah. We have more that we don't really appreciate.
Gotcha.
Which I think more I guess, I don't know, more gay people, I guess, do this than straight people that I know of. It's like an open marriage, per se. More, I feel like more gay people do it than straight people, but it just started because I do travel nursing, and I'll be gone. I'll be away for 3 to 6 months at a time. And, I mean, we got needs. They got to get fulfilled, so.
Yes, but also, me and him have both discussed it, and there are boundaries with that. Yeah. And we communicate with each other when things like that take place, whether it's before or after. I prefer before, but so, and a lot of people may not agree with that, and that's okay. That's your opinion. Yeah. If me and him agree on it and we're comfortable with it, and we can still love each other like we do, the way we look at it is, whose bids do we end up in at night? It's our own. You know, either he's going to be in the bed with me, I'm going to be in the bed with him when he's done with his travel contract. It's not going to interfere with what we have, if that makes sense.
Does. So, what's your go-to Pride anthem or movie?
So I like Broadway, so Rent. I love Rent. A movie and on Broadway, it's awesome. I love it. And then also a song I like is Same Love by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, I believe. I love that song.
I do have to say I have a favorite movie, I have a favorite series, and I have a favorite song. My favorite movies is Red, White, and Royal Blue from Amazon Prime. Very good movie. Also, the book is very good. Again, we're not here to endorse them, but if you want to read it, yes, if they want to pay us, they can. But it's a good book, a good movie made from the book. And then also, I love Heartstopper on Netflix. Very good series. Yes, very genuine, genuine series. It's not what you would have normally thought about young gay love, but it's a very good series. Yeah. And I guess I'd have to say the song that I really like is going to be Diana Ross, I'm coming out.
Really? You know what I was thinking you would say? Pink pony club.
Oh, I like that one too. I like that one too.
He loves that song.
That's my most favorite recent song. But overall,
Diana Ross.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good pick. I would have never thought about that one. So, Chad, we know you love to volunteer. Where do you volunteer at?
I actually volunteer at the Friendly City Safe Space in Harrisonburg, Virginia. It is a LGBTQ plus organization for youth that are struggling with finding themselves, figuring out what they want in life, and dealing with if they have already found themselves and know what they want to be, dealing with how their family reacts to the situation. It's been very good. Been able to go a couple times. I wish I could go more, but it is a little.
It's a good distance away. Yeah.
But it's the closest place I could find to volunteer with where we live. There's not really anywhere in Lynchburg that really has a support system like that. Roanoke, I believe, has something similar, but it's nowhere near as big.
Yeah.
So I've enjoyed what I have done there. It's good. If you're interested in looking up or seeing more information, or if they have a website, just search. You can Google search it, and it'll be the one in Harrisonburg, the location in Harrisonburg, Virginia.
So, how can listeners support LGBTQ plus rights beyond Pride Month?
Just everyday treatment and respect.
Yeah.
I just feel like, regardless of who it is you're with, regardless of who you love, we all need to be treated with equality and inclusion. We're not going to treat a heterosexual couple any different, so we would expect the same from them. Don't treat us any different if we're not going to treat you any different. You know, the golden rule is you got to give respect to get it. Yeah. And that's an everyday thing. That's not just for Pride Month. And just having that support, and, you know, me and Brett have a lot of straight friends that are there for us year round, and they don't stand up for us. Yeah. You being one of them, Christina being one of them.
Yeah.
And we know you guys will always have our back, and we greatly appreciate that because we know you're there for us whether it's Pride Month or not.
Yeah.
And that's all we ask. We just ask to be treated just like anyone else.
That's true. Also, I mean, if people can support Trevor Project is a good project that helps LGBTQ plus youth. I know I bought some things that have supported them, so that's one that I can think of. But I know there's a bunch out there.
Yeah, there are so many different communities and outreach programs and things that people can get involved in. So if you guys want to, just Google it. See how you can help, see how you can support, and mainly just be kind to one another. Mm-hmm. Respect everyone.
And even if it's not an association or organization that you're supporting, if you have a child that you see, well, I wouldn't even say a child, if you have a teenager or a young adult getting treated some kind of way because of who they are, stand up for them.
Yeah.
Just be like, would you want to be treated like that? Like, we got to have that audacity to be able to speak up.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not always supporting the charities, organizations are great, but sometimes just that one person needs you.
Yeah, love that. So I'm doing a Would You Rather segment just for a little fun, but I do have a political question. But of course, this is not a political podcast, but I really just wanted to see their view on this question. So the first question, which is not the political one, is would you rather attend Pride in full glitter or head-to-toe rainbows?
I would do head-to-toe rainbow because I can't stand glitter. It gets everywhere. You can't get it out of anything, and it's just always there. Once you got it for the rest of your life.
True.
So I would say rainbows.
I would agree with Brett, rainbows. I just like the bright colors. And then if people ask me, I can actually go into detail on what the colors stand for if there's people that are interested.
Oh, I'm interested. What the colors stand for?
Well, I'd have to look it up first.
Oh.
But,
so you don't know.
I don't know right off. But you did ask if I went to Pride.
Yes.
You know, if I went to Pride, I would be prepared for that.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I just kind of dropped that question on him. He wasn't prepared for it.
Yes, but I'm saying I would be prepared
Yes.
if I was going to do one of these Pride parades or a Pride Month event, and I would be prepared. I just won't today.
Yes. Have you guys ever went to like a Pride parade or anything?
Not since we've been together, no. We've discussed the different things. We've discussed about going on a gay cruise. We've discussed going to Provincetown, Rhode Island, which is very, very accepting and very diverse and inclusive. The whole town is like, they love everyone.
You guys need to go to Midtown Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
They have like, it's a section where you see the flag everywhere.
That's awesome.
And it's like everyone's accepting. It's the best part of town. I'm like, y'all got the good part of town. I'll be over there with the... It's so nice over there, so y'all need to go. With me to Atlanta, they have all the gay clubs and all inclusive clubs, or whatever way you want to call it. I like to say like all inclusive clubs. Sometimes the signs just says all inclusive.
And that's another thing. We've never been to a gay club.
Have I been? Y'all haven't.
We've never been to a gay club.
I'm not the club type.
Y'all, you know that. Oh, you guys in the audience don't know, but
They
Brett
don't
ain't the
know.
club type.
He's not the club type. I mean,
If we go to the club, Brett's gonna be driving us. Me and Angel are gonna be the ones getting litty.
I'll have one or two drinks, but I don't like to get drunk.
And we can't leave Christina. Christina would be right there
course.
with me.
She's gonna be
and
with
Angel.
us.
And Brett would be our chauffeur for the night because he ain't gonna drink.
I haven't been to the one
But
in
yeah,
Roanoke.
we've never been to a gay club before. We've thought about the idea, but then we're like,
I did.
yeah.
You have been to drag shows.
I love drag shows.
He loves drag shows.
And I can speak on that. Back in Lynchburg a year or two ago, Monet Exchange from RuPaul Drag Show was at Randolph College in Lynchburg, which definitely surprised me that was even a thing. Because, I call Lynchburg, a.k.a. Libertyville.
Yes, call it Libertyburg.
They get involved in so much of the community that I am glad Randolph College stood up the way they did and had this special guest.
Yeah.
Because we loved the show.
Yeah.
It was such a good show.
Man, I did not know that part. I went to the one in Roanoke, and they had it was the club, but they had a drag show at the same time, and some of the people from RuPaul was there as well. And I went to a drag show for my birthday, 2 years ago in North Carolina. Me and my friends went, and that was a lot of fun. But I've also been to the clubs and stuff, so I can't believe y'all haven't went. Need to go.
Yeah, we do. And
It's
then we
so
also
much
need to check out Drag Brunch at the Water Dog one morning downtown.
Yeah, they do.
On one Sunday morning downtown. Because
Are
that's,
they still doing it?
to my knowledge, yeah. I know Water Dog had came out and made a press release about some of the political stuff going on in Lynchburg. But they had said they were going to continue to remain strong and supportive. So I assume they're going to still be doing that.
Because I know I used to get notifications when they did it, but then it just stopped. So I hadn't seen anything about it for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, and here is the political question. It's not a political question. But would you rather have every straight person all of a sudden understand the LGBTQ plus struggles, or every politician?
I would prefer the politicians. And here's why. They are the influence.
Yeah.
Politicians, I felt like if politicians were to support us more in our communities, LGBTQ plus, gender identity, transgender, I feel like it would just rub off on everyone else. Because I see it all the time. Every time something political is mentioned on the news or what have you, it's like, follow the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand the difference in Republicans and Democrats. There's a lot of times the Democrats do not always follow into the Simon Says, but I just feel like Republicans don't care for us. And this is no offense to the Republicans listening. There are some Republicans out there that do support us to a certain extent, but a majority of them don't. So I feel like it would be probably politicians. I don't know what Brett would say, if he would agree with me or not, but I feel like politicians would influence more. And then the straight people would follow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say the straight people, only because most of the politicians are straight. So
It's like a...
and they would get it then.
Yeah.
They are straight. I at first thought politicians, but I was like, wait, no, most of the politicians are straight, so if you do the straight people, you don't have that much more people.
Yeah.
Politicians included.
And I get you because I feel like I agree with the straight people part because even when it comes down to, again, this is not a political podcast, but when it comes down to like voting and stuff like that, the straight people are going to be like, we need to vote for the people that's going to be allies for the LGBTQ plus community as well. So when we do go vote these people in office, we're going to be thinking about you guys in the background too. Like, hey, we need to be picking people in these offices and in these positions that are for everyone and not just for the certain few that they choose to be, for. Again, not political, but that's just my take. But either way, it go. It's perfect. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But you guys, I just want to wrap up this Pride Month special episode with a thank you so much for sharing your stories, your love. You guys are the reason the community shines. And for our listeners, there's one thing you can take away. Pride isn't just a month. It's a mindset. Keep uplifting LGBTQ plus voices, checking your bias, and dancing like no one is watching. Be sure to follow Chad and Brett if you want to give out your TikToks or Instagrams if you want to.
I think most of mine, this is Brett, by the way. Most of mine is B from 12, BFROMM, and I think that's most of my handles.
Yeah, and you just look me up. I'm Chad. I know they don't like us to say our last names, but I'll tell you guys my last name.
I mean, you can. We just don't say other people's last name. If you want to say your last name.
So I'm Chad Melton. You can look me up on Facebook. I don't add everybody, so if I don't add you, don't get offended. But you can always send me a message if you like the podcast. And
TikTok.
I do have TikTok. I don't really add a lot of people on it, though. I mainly go on it just to watch videos and support my other TikTok creators, Angel and Tina. I try to give them my love and support, but I don't really add people on that. So if you want to reach out to me, just try to find me on Facebook.
And if any of the listeners want to share their stories or just have stories they just want me to read, or if you want me to share it with other people, please send me an email. It's at thepodlifeofangelandtina@gmail.com. If you want me to just read it, just say like, hey, this is for you. I just want to share my story with someone. Or if you want me to share it with others, please let me know because I will be glad to share stories on my TikTok from other listeners and stuff. I can keep it private and still share it, or I can say your name and tag you in it. So whichever way you guys, if you want to share the story, just let me know how you want me to share it with others if you want me to read it for myself. And Tina will finally be back with me next week. We have not picked a topic. We've been super busy, so just stay tuned. Stay proud, stay lifted, and remember, love is love. Happy Pride Month. First time always, you guys.
Yes, happy Pride Month, guys.